Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting, another episode of the Whatever Report, where we talk about whatever, whatever strikes our fancy, whatever is going on, whether it be something I watched, something I read, or just some random question you guys shoot out at me in the chat. We're just, talking, hanging out, having a good time on a Saturday evening. We will see who joins me tonight. Sometimes we get a lot of people in here. Sometimes we get just a couple. But I always appreciate whoever shows up for one of these. We have a couple people tailgating a little bit early. We had my man John. What is going on, John? He put out a little TikTok / YouTube short / Instagram video today of him making fun of the fact that he's just a big kid, which I think we all are. We're collecting comics and we're reading stuff that we enjoy, and that's the best kind of adult I think there is one who's still a bit of a kid. Takes responsibility, but still a bit of a kid. So there's my man. He says this is the best show I do. I don't know if that's a compliment or a shot at the rest of the stuff I do. Don't know, but I'll take it as a compliment. Man, Unruly, what's going on? The Bulldog again, just because they won again today, I tell you, they don't seem to lose. So there you go. He is back. What is the nature of truth? What is the nature of truth? Well, in this day and age, whatever people claim, it seems like people, they don't believe the actual truth. They believe whatever they want. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Deep thought, too deep a thought for me. I'm not that deep. My brain doesn't go that deep. It doesn't. So, but I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. So let's get things started. Where's my little banners? What are we starting with? Well, we always start with what are we drinking? What are we drinking tonight? So I'd originally planned to try to open something new tonight, kick something off, and then I looked in here and I still have not finished this bottle. And it's not because it's not good. I just haven't been drinking very much. And so we are still attempting to finish off this Ben Holiday Bottled and Bond, which is quality stuff, but I probably still won't finish it tonight. But hopefully before next week, this will be gone. I just haven't been, honestly, the last month or so, I just didn't drink very much whiskey in the last month. So, and I definitely haven't been doing like mixed drinks. This is the way I usually kill bottles. It's like once it gets down low, I just like mix it with something to finish it or whatever until I get to the last little bit. But no, haven't done that lately. So there you go. My man Unruly saying, congrats to Mizzou becoming bowl eligible. So close to being what I really thought they could be this year. If they just not blown the game against Auburn, they'd end up 7-5, which is about what I predicted. And if they'd have found a way not to they also blew the game against Kentucky, and that would have gotten to 8-4, which I would have been ahead of my expectations. But we'll take 6-6 and playing in the bowl game, probably against stinky Kansas, which is just, and if you're a Missouri fan, you understand that we despise Kansas, but rightfully so. Everyone should. So everyone should despise Kansas, but we'll take it. Hopefully we can start maybe next year making progress. We've been pretty flatlined the last few years, for sure. On our progress football wise. So we'll see. Mr. Rayman, what is going on? What is happening? But yeah, that's what we're drinking. We're drinking a little Ben Holiday, Missouri Street Bourbon Whiskey, Bottled and Bond, so 100 proof tonight. Trying to finish that bottle. There's a lot left in there. I don't think I'm going to, that's a little much for me to finish, I'll be honest. Doesn't have anything going on tomorrow, but I probably just won't finish that. I did finally, for those who knew I had so many comments about the fact that I have not had a background the last couple weeks because I was lazy and then put one up. So there was a lot of comments about my lack of a background. And I'll be honest, about 30 minutes ago, I wasn't going to have a background. And then last minute, I just did the little ode to Selena. We did a little Catwoman background here. So for all of those who want me to have some sort of background, enjoy my backgrounds, there you go. So something where bourbon drinkers miss the last few ounces of a bottle in an empty and just keep adding to it with the last few ounces of the next bottle. Yeah, so that it actually like lasts a little bit. Because what happens is your bourbon can actually go bad. It oxidizes, so it doesn't taste very good because it gets too much air. So when it gets down, you really should finish it. Like, or you need to like. That's why they move it into decanters or something with a smaller container where there's less air trapped in the bottle. This bottle has probably been so low long enough that if I don't finish it here, I could potentially be risking that for sure. But yeah, that's where people do that, and then there's this whole thing where they do mixes and stuff, and people that's a whole thing where you kind of experiment and get with mystery and experiment. So yeah. Yeah, and really got deep thoughts for tonight. I'm not that deep. So the Bronx page, what is going on? How can Alabama? It's called Nick Saban is ridiculous, and he basically has been able to get any player he wanted for the last decade, 15 years, 20 years. Like if he walks in and goes, "I want you to come to Alabama," they just go, even if they're end up sitting on the bench for like 4 years. And he's been super driven. I don't think he's as driven now. I like people were talking about it like the last 2 years. I think he's getting toward the end because he got the record, which is really what was he wanted that most titles record. I feel like he's kind of just like a little bit going through the motions. We'll see it. Well, he's the ultimate recruiter, and then he coaches them up. There's no doubt about the man can coach them up. Jimmy's and Joe's definitely are greater than X's and O's, but it doesn't hurt when you're pretty good at the X's and O's also. But and I think, and I don't even know that he's good at the X's and O's, but he's good at getting the most out of the Jimmy's and Joe's, or he has been for his whole career. I don't know that he's quite as good now. I think he's starting to like just his own personal motivation. I think he slipped a little bit, but we're talking football on this, but hey, whatever. It's whatever report. But I think he's been excellent, not necessarily at Xing and Oing, but at getting the most out of those Jimmy's and Joe's for sure. Oh, we got our first, our first, whatever. Okay, get rid of our first spam of the night. Recruiter, and if one doesn't start to play, change your restaurant start pretty much anywhere else. Yeah, this is absolutely true. So now with him winding down, now we're going to have to yell at this guy and his team because it feels like Kirby is trying to slide right into that spot. I mean, Kirby's going for natty number 2 with Stetson Bennett the fourth. I mean, I feel like you're required to say your guys' quarterback name in the Foghorn Leghorn voice. Just like, now here I say, boy, his name is Stetson Bennett the fourth, and he is a quarterback. I don't know why. Like somebody did that around here. Like that's the only way they referred to him. I feel like I can't unhear that. So that anytime I hear the name of the quarterback for Georgia, it's said in the voice of Foghorn Leghorn. I can't do a Foghorn Leghorn very good, as you just heard, but I feel like that's the truth. He's like, yeah, he was their main recruiter for a long time. You were correct. Yeah, for sure. I said, you want? See, now we got Foghorn Leghorn. Oh yeah. So I don't know why. I just can't hear that kid's name without. It sounds like it should be, in the voice of Foghorn Leghorn. It's a perfect name for a quarterback. Oh my gosh, what is with we got the bots in here tonight. We got the bots in here tonight for sure. Already 2 of them. Good grief, for 10 minutes in. All right. So we were talking football. We've talked about what I'm drinking. What do we got? What am I reading? I haven't read jack squat in the last week. I got through all my books last week before we. Did I get through everything last week? I was talking to you guys. Yeah, I got through all of it. So yeah, I got through the whole stack that came last week. And so I gave you my thoughts on everything came last week. This is an off week for me from Midtown. And I'll be honest, I was going to start a couple books. And now that for the name, I got to change. See, even that. Bow before Stetson Fleming of the House Bennett. Fourth of its name, Breaker. It's all got to be in there. I can't do a Foghorn Leghorn, but even that is in Foghorn Leghorn. Stargirl from DC is pretty good. 8 Billion Genies is definitely running out of steam, in my opinion. I could get that. I feel like it's a fairly limited concept, that 8 Billion Genies. Everybody was going crazy for it, but felt like, let me rephrase that. The way they set it up was a fairly limited concept, but we'll see where it goes. The cat, I've been gone because I went and visited my folks the last couple days, so the cat may have to come in. She's crying at the door. So we're gonna let her. Percy was with me, even though I kicked him out for this. Come on. I'm gonna shut the door. Get in here. Come on. Yeah, the dog got kicked out because he started barking. So, oh goodness. See, I'm gonna ruin this quarterback for him. Actually, it may just make it better. What? Creepshow Anthology is pretty good. 3 issues for you. So yeah, I haven't started anything new. But what we got coming up on the channel, let me get back to my banners here. So should be kicking off. We haven't done an in-show for a while. We had to postpone our last Sandman. So we should have Sandman coming up this week on Wednesday. That is when we're targeting. We're doing volume 6, which is kind of which is actually spread between 2 of the deluxe editions I have. And it's like a collection of like multiple stories. It's multiple like short stories that aren't really, they're all kind of side stories, not really directly part of this kind of main story of Dream, but he's in kind of all of them. So it's a fun collection. I need to go back through and skim it again just to remind myself before we finally do the show. Here comes the cat. You don't need any of that whiskey, cat. I'm going to put the bottle down here and the glass. Yeah, in my hand. I see you, Miss Cat. I know. You're mad at me because I was vanished for a couple days. We're skipping ahead a lot. From 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 years, kind of like whenever the show. Okay, that's 8 billion. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait on 8 billion genies till the end, and if people say that it pays off well enough, then I will get the trade and read it, because I have not been reading 8 billion genies. So, because I really don't read indies as they come out. That's just where I'm at. I just do the trade thing. But I got a bunch of trades I need to buy again. Like, even for indies I've already read, like the hardcover of Ascender came out. I want that. The hardcover of Die came out. I want that. There's a couple other hardcovers that just came out that I want, and I'm like, that I need to get. But, so yeah, but really, that's the only thing planned this week on the channel is the Sandman show. We're trying to get another round of Deadly Class scheduled. I need to get another round of Black Hammer scheduled. I need to try to finally finish getting the last Usagi scheduled. But otherwise, I don't know that I have anything major coming up on the channel this week until we get to next weekend. I may try to do something else. We'll see how my week goes. But right now, I don't have anything scheduled. Tomorrow, well, maybe. I don't know. CBSI, as of like when I looked, unless there's something wrong with my internet and or the site. Yeah, let me refresh again. Yeah, they didn't put out. CBSI did not put out a top 10 this week. So I assume Tom will still do a video because they never miss a week. That he and Key Collector are still going to do a video, but maybe late. So I don't know. I don't know when or if we'll do a Cash or Trash because there's nothing to talk about from CBSI yet. So unless something weird's going on with my internet, because I don't see it. I just see last week's. So hopefully there's Cash or Trash with just like $10 tomorrow, but we'll see. Diana Philadelphia. I have not started Philadelphia yet. I know that's one that I want to start. Just because John, that's another one John has raved about a ton, but I need to get at some point, but I don't have yet. So there should also be D&D tomorrow night. So yeah, weekend stuff is normal, I guess. Those are the other things coming up on the channel. Is hopefully there's a Cash or Trash tomorrow. There should be a D&D tomorrow. I'm just gonna block my face. Your face is probably cuter, you know. Although it's the back of your head and not your face. So at least it's not your butt. You haven't stood up and done that to the camera yet. And then, yeah, Sandman Wednesday, and then we'll see if there's anything else this week. So that is what's coming up on the channel. Well, it's a quiet group tonight, or there's just not very many people in here. It's a little lower than our normal number, but not many, just not many people saying much. So we did reading, we did what's coming up. All right. I didn't pick anything up this week. I had nothing come in. Mainly because I knew I was going to be gone, so I didn't order anything, but also because it's going to buy stuff for other people at the moment until I get Christmas stuff finished, lined out, which I'm still working on. Probably not buying anything else for me for a little while. So I guess that brings us to, that's the one I want. Whatever we're watching. Let's go back here. Philadelphia, yeah, I've heard everyone that has read it seems to be super enthused about it. So I just is not one I've gotten to yet. Picked up a lot this week. Oh, good for you. A few Black Friday sales. See, I'd avoid. I mean, sometimes I'll do like online stuff on Black Friday, but I avoid that like the plague. I don't like people that much. I'm not a Black Friday shopper. I am not. Hung out with my folks and my sister and her kids and on Black Friday, and then we went out to dinner, and that was it. So, very nice. So yeah, you've had a busy week, sounds like. Oh man, very James O'Barr drawing a blank cover. Sweet. That is, yeah. You've been all over it, Mr. Ramman. You have. So what are we watching? Yeah, I would second, third, fourth that. What are we watching? Really the only thing I watched, because I already talked about Black Panther last week. Only thing that I watched was my thumbnail, which was the finale of Andor. So I'm going to talk about Andor in general terms and not the finale, in case people haven't seen it. Oh my goodness. Things are going crazy. That is crazy. He's moving. He's buying all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Oh, I would imagine that's a pretty sweet sketch cover. So, but Andor, my thoughts on Andor as a whole. Starts super slow. It's so hard. Like, I could totally understand anybody who doesn't get through those first 2 episodes, but it definitely builds from there. So the pacing, I felt like, for the season as a whole was a little uneven, because I felt like super slow, really good 3rd episode. 4 and 5 slow down, but they're at least more interesting than the first 2 episodes. And then really from there, from 6 on, it really does a great job. Even when it's kind of slow, like where there's not much happening, the intensity, the intrigue, it does a fantastic job of setting a a mood and really paying it off. I mean, it's not like necessarily, it's a spy thriller without a ton of the spy stuff. Like, um, I've not see Glass Onion was not in a theater here, like locally where I was at. I might have been one up by my parents and stuff, but we didn't talk about going anywhere. Uh, and I might not have got them to go see it anyway. I really want to see Glass Onion, which may finally make me like subscribe to Netflix this next month, so that I can watch Glass Onion and I can watch Sandman and I can watch Wednesday, which looks kind of cool. I won't lie, Wednesday looks kind of fun. But I also need to do like Stranger Things, which I've never watched any of. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff I would need to do if I do that. And I have not got the Black Adam yet, and it's already out of my little local theater, so I'm probably not seeing that till it comes out anywhere. Oh yeah, not as good as the original, but definitely worth a watch. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, probably Glass Onion. Yeah, Wednesday looks fun for sure. Jenna Ortega looks like she's got that part down. But anyway, back to Andor. Shockingly, JP's getting sidetracked. I know, you guys don't know what to think. So I thought overall the pacing of the season, but boy, it really builds. The final couple of episodes really pay off. But I do feel like it's a little long, like 12 episodes to really, it's really just his recruitment into the rebellion, at least from his standpoint. So 12 episodes are a little long. But having said that, for his story arc, it's a little long. For me, the things that carried the show had nothing to do with, like, Andor in many ways, Cassian was in many ways the least interesting part of the show for me. Like, and his arc was the least interesting part of the show for me. Luthen and Mon Mothma made the show for me. Like, absolutely made the show for me. Like, Luthen, who's a new character, Stellan Skarsgård, what? Yeah, I think that's his name. Sylvie, Jane's friend, doctor friend from the Thor movies. He crushed it. Every time he's on screen, it's intense, it's interesting, it's worthwhile. His performance destroyed it. And then Mon Mothma, holy crap, I thought that arc was amazing. The compromises, the decisions she has to make, trying to hide what she's doing. Like, those two characters were 1,000 times more interesting for me than Cassian. 1,000%. They made the show for me, and I loved every time either one of them was on screen. Well, yeah. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. But yeah, those two characters made that show for me. I think the character that didn't work for me was I did not understand the guy who was working for the private security that lost his job, and then they just kept going back to him living with his mother, and then being a creepy stalker of the lady who's in the ISB, and like he could have disappeared after episode 3 and I would have been happier. Like, none of his arc worked for me. The whole thing that they have go down in the finale with him and her, I didn't like it. I didn't think it worked. Like, I feel like I know where they're going with that now, that they're actually going to be none of that worked for me. I just did not like that part of the art. That I didn't find it interesting. It just, yeah. Hey, Gordon, what's going on, man? Hello, Kenneth. I don't know if I said hello to Kenneth. I thought I clicked on it, but I don't know if I said it. So, I have the memory of a gnat. A goldfish, according to Ted Lasso. I have the memory of a goldfish. So, are we going to get rid of some more of this? See, the problem is I need like at least another pour like that. And I don't know that I'm going to want another pour like that tonight. Not really that kind of night. But, Kat, you don't need any of the bourbon. She's like, but I want the bourbon. You don't need the bourbon. Smells interesting, yes, but you don't need it. Overall, so what are my overall thoughts? Thank you, Gordon. I appreciate that. I've heard I feel like a lot of people just turned it off after the first 2 episodes. That's a mistake. If you can make it through, it's worth it. Is it? But I've also heard people saying it's like the greatest Star Wars thing they've ever produced. I don't think it's that. Because I don't think the Cassian stuff, even though the prison stuff is really good and dramatic, I don't think it works well enough for me to be like considered one of my favorite, like at the top of like Star Wars stuff. But I would say it's probably. Are you done with me? All right, hang on. You may go. There you go. Sorry, letting the cat out. So I'd been gone. So when I shut the door, she was mad. So I let her in here, and then now she was like, "Done with you. I'm gonna go sleep." So she left. We did turn over there. I've never given her any, but she might be. She kind of definitely liked it. When she didn't get anyone, she's like, "I'm out of here." She's like, "I'm gone." So, but probably an 8. What's an 8? A 4 out of 5? Yeah, I would say an 8. I mean, maybe an 8.5. I think they just spent too much time on some of the stuff that I felt like didn't really interest me that much. I think an 8. I'd go a solid 8 out of 10. Maybe an 8.5. Like 8.85. Like it's up there for me. It's really, really good. It's well written. It's very reality based, which I enjoyed. I do think in some ways it's maybe too much. I would have liked for a few more aliens, and when I get that aliens cost money, but I do think if you're playing in the Star Wars universe, there needs to be the lack of aliens. I felt like actually kind of took me out of the world a little bit because it's like, where are they? Like, and I get like in the Empire stuff, they're not there, but like in his interactions and stuff, there should have been a few more aliens. Like the fact that everybody in a prison is a human didn't make a lot of sense. And maybe it's because of their hands or whatever, but I felt like that. I don't know. I just felt like that was a bit of a, and I get because aliens are expensive, the CGI or the costumes, all that's expensive. I get why they do it. But I felt like they needed like at least like 1 or 2 like in the prison thing and a couple other places where they could have put a little more some more aliens in it, just to like other species, just to make it feel more Star Wars and not just generic spy thing. That's just me. Yeah, let the cat out of the bag. Going it's like I'm going to drink. I mean, I really did enjoy it. I really, really did. But if you try to power through the first 3 till Luthen really makes an appearance in episode 3, and like there's some drama and some action, those first 2 episodes are so slow. They're slow. Racism against aliens, yes. It is. And they didn't like go cheap on some of the other stuff. The whole scene mid-season, episode 6, and they're trying to make their escape from their mission. Like that little space escape scene, that was pretty well done. That was not super cheap, but there wasn't a ton of stuff. The space battle in the second to last episode with Luthen and like his ship, that was really cool. But yeah, they definitely were on the down end of the special effects stuff for sure, which I get and I understand, but I would like to see like put a Wookiee somewhere, put a Mon Calamari, put something. We need a little something, little something. That's just me. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna get off here. That's it. And otherwise, like, what did I watch? Well, the other night when we were family, we ended up watching Top Gun Maverick again because my folks hadn't seen that, so we put that on. And I don't think my niece or nephew had seen that yet. And so we watched that the other night, and then which thoughts on that? Just having that was the first time I'd seen it since I saw it originally in the theater. Pretty similar. Like I wondered if it would hold up a second watch. It does. I think it holds up pretty well. It's a lot of fun. The final act, like from the moment he gets like shot down, and then we go into the whole Fast and Furious in the planes, and they find the F-14 and stuff. It's like, okay, that's a little. To this, it still like takes me out of it a little bit because I feel like before that it was a very more realistic mission and that kind of stuff. Obviously, the mission was a little over the top, but like it was more realistic until they got to that part, and then, but it's still fun and it works, and that's the main thing to get. Yeah, I'm sure that is absolutely the case, and I'm sure that's going to be a hard thing for all Star Wars projects to balance. Is like how much to spend on CGI and that kind of stuff. I see. This is where I think, yeah, some costume aliens. Like, there's a few they could have done that would look fine. So, they could have done a Twi'lek or something, or something to like bring it together a little bit. I both get like the mission in the middle where they're trying to infiltrate the base. I get why those are all humans because it's the Empire and most other people like they're very racist in the Empire and everything else. But like, the prison stuff didn't make a lot of sense, and there's just some other stuff that didn't make as much, and even his home planet didn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway, looking forward to a season 2 for sure on Andor. Hey, it's raining. I think we need some rain. With that, I don't feel like there's much nerd news. Did I miss anything this week? I don't think so. Have not gotten to Guardians holiday special yet. I was going to try to get to that when I got home today, and then I just running errands and doing stuff and from being gone, and it just didn't happen. So hoping to watch the Guardians thing. I don't know if I'll get to it tomorrow or just this week sometime. I'll probably just try to watch it this week sometime. I got enough going on tomorrow. I probably won't worry about it, but I got enough free evenings this week that I will try to watch the Guardians thing sometime this week. And then with that, we are whatever you guys want to talk about. We're 30 minutes in. We got like 30 minutes to kill. Hope the father shows up. Whose father? Because Cassian's adopted father, like they showed what happened to him. Like, but I'm not sure who you're talking about. Whose father? Survivor Series is tonight. I haven't watched wrestling in over a decade. That's not true. Like I haven't paid attention to wrestling in over a decade, maybe 15 years at this point. So yeah, I have no idea who's in Survivor Series. I'll be honest. Guardians of the Galaxy is Tapio. I have no idea what that word is really. I have no idea what that is or what that means. Maybe I don't know if that's a typo or my vocabulary is just that limited because I don't know if that means good, bad, what. I have no clue. I'm not the only one who hasn't gotten to the Guardians yet. I'm sure. I hope the inventor of the Death Star. That's like Cassian's father. Oh, you mean? Okay. You mean Jim's father shows up at some point? I don't know. I did think that, like, I thought. I know there were some people that, like, there were some people complaining about the after credit. There is an after credit scene in the finale. If you haven't watched it yet on Andor, or if you didn't stay for the after credit, because Star Wars usually doesn't have it, there is one. I thought it was really cool. But I know some people didn't like it. I don't know. Uh, it has to make sense for him to cross paths with Urso. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. I watched it when I was like, I was big into wrestling, late 80s into like about 91, which would made me like 11 or 12, 13. And then I was out basically through high school. Not interested. Hogan had gotten old. And to me at that point, I wasn't interested in. And that was about the time the Undertaker started showing up, and I was just like, no, I'm out. This is dumb. And then when I got to college, like, was right when literally the Outsiders showed up on that summer between senior year of high school and freshman year of college. When Outsiders showed up on WCW, and then Hogan turned, and then I watched the crap out of that, and then but eventually shifted over to Raw and Stone Cold and The Rock. And yeah, like, and then I was into wrestling for all through college and through grad school, and then when The Rock was gone and Steve was gone, and I was a big, like, and Cena was kind of dominating and started to dominate, and Triple H was still like around the Evolution time and stuff. I just kind of faded out of it. So yeah, I still don't know what that means. Is that tapioca? Like the pudding? Tapioca? I don't know what that means. You know, a keyword. He might have. I don't know. Do you like tapioca? I don't. I know some people hate tapioca and some people like it. I don't know. Oh, Roddy was fun. I love Piper. Good villains are always good. Yeah. NWO transitioning into Rocket Stone Cold. That's my wheelhouse. My favorite wrestler all time, though, is Mick Foley. That tells you the kind of wrestler. I love Mankind. I love Mick. I love his sense of humor. I love the Rocket Shot connection when the two of them played off each other. That was like my wheelhouse for wrestling, and yeah. Like, I thought Cena, like, at times Cena could be very entertaining. At times, I agree. Because he was like Hercules. I mean, he was a little bit Hogan-esque, and then he was like super strong and powerful, and it's just like, I don't know. That didn't interest me by that point. Yeah, like bland. Yeah, like the pudding. Oh, well, that's disappointing. I'd heard good reviews to this point. You're the first person, although I'd only heard a couple people talk about it. So not a ton of reviews. Like, a couple people I'd heard talk about it was that it was good, but yeah. So, that would be like, I have no interest really in, like, when I go to a con. I'm not a big go meet celebrity people. I didn't pull it down. Recent news thing. I haven't pulled it down because I didn't talk about it. But, well, I talked about it before. But, like, one of the few, like, celebrity, I only have like 3 or 4. One of the few celebrity is I did get Kevin Conroy's and meet him. So that, I'm so glad I did that. But, like, probably the only wrestler I would stand in line for to meet would be Mick. He would be the only one. I mean, Dwayne's not going to do a con. He's got money. Like, he doesn't need that money. I might do it for Steve, but that line would be stupid, and I don't know that I'm willing to stand in that line for that long. Mick would be one that I would be interested in meeting for sure. Yeah. I'm just old enough that Pokemon was never my thing. So it's kind of like Pokemon and Power Rangers I was just old enough that was not cool. For me in my age group, it was like, eh. So I have no interest in that. I don't necessarily understand that fan base. I am not one to, so I will not put my own, like I have no nostalgia for those things. None. Like they were never part of my, they weren't part of my childhood. They're not something that I paid attention to give you a good feel on. I would assume that had, that's a, I don't know what it goes for. I've never, it's a book I've never tracked. So I don't want to give you a, that's uninformed. That would be an uninformed opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't really say it's not horrible, but it's not, yeah, it's not horrible, but apparently not great. Yeah. I will say Cena seems like a really good dude. He's done like more. He's broke the record for most Make a Wish things. That thing he did for that kid in Ukraine, they were showing that was disabled. Like I think Cena is a genuinely good dude. Like from what I've been able to see, which I think is awesome. But that doesn't mean he really interested me as a wrestler. So that's yeah, nice, nice, very cool. Uh, yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that he was doing stand up. That he's doing it like because he was having mental like difficulties staying sharp, and it helps him stay sharp. And that he was yeah. Um, so, but I'm glad to hear that he's doing something to stay active and try to take care of himself. Um, 2K for the Pikachu. Woo. Too rich for my blood, but again, I don't have nostalgia for it. Whereas, like, well, 2K is too rich for me for anything because I'm cheap and I'm poor. But that's beside the point. um, yeah, yeah, he did some really stupid stuff. Like Mick pushed the envelope, and that was the thing. I never like particularly like. I love Mick, but I loved his personality. I wish he'd taken better care of himself. I don't think I get that he thought, and I've heard him talk about this, like that he thought that he wasn't, he had to, he loved to push boundaries and do that kind of stuff. And it was just, he enjoyed it. But like, I wish he wouldn't have taken the physical toll on himself to do some of that crap. Because I don't think it was necessary for the character or for him to be popular for him to like take some of the chances that he took. Um, Personal opinion. And I wish he hadn't. I wish he'd taken better care of himself. I'm glad he's still with us, but I'm sort of surprised. I'll be honest. Yeah. I'm poor. Like, I scrounge a little bit for the comic book stuff. Um, I probably should. I'm comic book poor, but I probably should. I'm probably should be no comic book. You know, you got to blow money on something. Yeah, good thing to be comic book poor. This is it could be a good thing. What else you guys want to talk about? Anything of interest that yeah. I don't know. We've talked about football. We've talked about wrestling. We talked a little bit about Andor. What else is going on? Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily have anything jumping out at me. Yeah. I think he, you know, he's paying. The other thing is, I think he probably should have, which they never do. But if he'd retired when he first originally retired from wrestling and doing that crap, and then had just done, you know, and he even talked about it, like he wasn't good. Like if he'd retired at like 35, like he originally was going to do, and like I think he'd be in a lot better shape. And he came back, and they all do it, and it's like, I mean, Flair just wrestled like 2 months ago or whatever the heck it was, and or a month ago even, and it's like but they love it, and I get it, and but yeah, I would love for him to have taken better care of himself for sure. I will say that is a huge luck out for Dwayne. Is that for him that he comes back and does like every year or 2 years, he comes back and does a little short stint with somebody, but the Hollywood thing saved him. Like, he's gonna grow old and be relatively healthy and probably be with us a long time because he didn't take the pounding for as many years. You think about, you're talking like 97 to 01 is it for him. Like, that is the run. Like, that he was really competing all the time. Like, he had like a, 97, 98, 99, 2000, like a 5-6 year run where Dwayne was active all the time. And then since then, it's been pick his spots. He'll do short runs because he made Hollywood, and he got very lucky from that. For same, my man, Old Wolf. What is going on, Old Wolf? Cheers. All right. I said I wasn't. Did I finish it? I don't know. I think you. All right. I really wasn't gonna drink this much. See, even now, there's still another one left. Damn it! I'm not gonna finish it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it to myself. But we'll do a little more. We'll do one more thing. Yeah. This is right. Yeah. Thank goodness. You would. I am not. I'll kill it tomorrow. I'll have a drink with dinner tomorrow night and kill it tomorrow night. But I am not. This is it. This is the last of it for tonight. What else? For Catwoman 50, have I seen the Souza cover for Catwoman 50? That's a good question. I don't know if I remember what the Souza Catwoman 50 looks like. Catwoman 50. Souza Maki. There you go. Oh, I do like that one. It's one of the better ones she's done since she's been doing like the regular B covers. It's funny. I liked all of her. I thought most of her 1 in 25s were better than any of the ones she's done for B, for the B covers. But that one, I do like that one a lot. So, very nice. She was super nice. I met her at C2E2, and she was funny. Like, she was funny. She was super nice. We saw her one night out at some party thing, and she was dancing and having a good time. And like, you could see this is all super new to her, and that like people want. And then like somebody asked her about like sketches when I was standing there, and she was like, "Oh, it's like," she's like, "I do everything digital. Like if I draw like for real, it's like tiny and like on little cards." And she's like, "Everything's tiny. Nobody would want that." And they're like, and the guy that was like helping her work her booth, he's like, "Dude, people pay hundreds of dollars for artists to do that kind of stuff, like on a 3x5. She's like, "Really?" She was like, it was just so funny. I don't think she did any of that weekend, but like it was just humorous. I think she might have done a few remarks on a book she was selling, but otherwise she didn't really do anything. But it was like, she's like, "Well, I'm just so used to like my whole thing is drawing on the iPad and on the thing." And she's like, "I don't like it. I don't know. I just don't really do it." Yeah. So, but no, I mean, I only interacted with her for a few minutes when I got this signed. And I went by her booth one other time, and nobody was there, and I talked to her for just a minute or two. But she was super nice. She was funny. I mean, like I said, it was all, you could tell it was all like, she was just kind of happy to be there. So now who knows if that will last? I hope so. It's always nice when you talk to them and they're fun and they're interesting and they take a minute to talk to you. And yeah, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, a lot of guys do. I feel like a lot of the digital people will do sketches, but I do think, and I think her style, like, I think she definitely relies on some of the digital technology to make her style. Because her style really isn't like, the pencils are great, but she does everything else. It's all the like the gray scaling and light and stuff that she does with them. I think it's what makes a lot of her covers. And which is an art. Which is an art. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know a lot of people like, oh, you just push a button and digital art is unreal. No. It is, but it's different. It would be interesting to see if she really did something just pencils and inks herself. My guess is it would not necessarily look like Souza, or what we think of with her. So, yeah, definitely helps to smooth things out too, for sure. So it would be interesting to see what it looks like. So like just me and Mr. Rayman. Everybody else was kind of bailed. Gordon's like, keep him talking. Gordon, ask me something. What do you guys want to talk about? Ask me something. The cat is back meowing at the door because I'm still not outside. And it's raining. I'm surprised the dog isn't at the door. Because normally when it starts raining and storming, he's like, where are you? In his old age, he does not. My puppy dog's about to turn 13. He turns 13 this month. Not this month, December 9th. He turns 13. And yeah, he does not like storms or rain or anything anymore. Like, he used to not bother him at all. Last year and a half, it's like, oh, he doesn't like it. So I'm surprised he's not at the door, like, wanting me and making me cut this short. No, you're fine. And nobody else seems to be interested in commenting tonight, so it's okay. Right now, it's just a conversation between the two of us. I don't know how entertaining that is for anybody else watching, but it works for me. So I don't complain. If anybody, I will not complain with anybody that hangs out with me for one of these. I will say, I'm going to take a shot right here. Let's see, hang on. I'm going to go back up to this guy who makes this claim, and I have not seen in the chat the last 3 times I've done this. Like, he's made these claims, and then he just doesn't show up. So that's whatever. I tell you, books. Like, he doesn't like storms. He doesn't like me talking to the screen, and the cat is back and crying. Yeah, I tried to punish them for trying to take a short rest in a dungeon. And I didn't really succeed at that. And then when I rolled the second time, I didn't roll for an additional encounter when they tried to do it again. I almost gave them one anyway because Tony's here. I don't care. It's like, Tony's here. But yeah, trying to take a rest in a dungeon is they should have been punished even harder for that. Like, I should have rolled something truly vicious instead of just rolling those specters. But oh well. We do it again. We'll see what happens. I did not. I sectored the first time I rolled an encounter. The second time I didn't. But I made it like a 50-50 chance that they were going to have an encounter. It was a straight up and down whether or not they were going to have it. Which normally encounters are not that high of percentage. But yeah. With the door. No, they did shut the door in front of them, but not the door behind them, obviously. But yeah. The rest really wasn't my. I know it was. Big Will was obsessed with getting the short rest in. Are you back? Come on. Meow. Talk to him. don't normally mind storms. What are you mad about? You're just mad because I was gone for a couple days. Yeah. You're just mad because I was gone for a couple days. So, this point in time yeah. So, we'll see. Oh, I'm sure Big Will, like, we'll try to talk him into a rest somewhere where they shouldn't. So that's kind of what he does. So she did. She's back from the bar. She's drunk. She wants some attention. Yeah, you go get your drink. For Old Wolf, who wasn't, or anybody wasn't here earlier, when I poured my glass a while ago, the cat was like, oh, like trying to get her face in it, like, what's this? So, yeah, we made the joke when she left right after I didn't let her have any that she was headed to the bar. So she came back. But yeah, well, we're coming up on the hour. I don't have anything else necessarily to talk. No kidding. Anything else to really talk about? I think we're gonna wrap this up. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. I didn't really say that at the beginning, but I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. As always, I am thankful. We'll do our little thankful. I am thankful that you guys hang out with me on these Saturday nights when I just ramble for a little bit. Not thankful I missed the last Old Wolf thing because I was working and gone and that kind of stuff. Got to sip with Old Wolf for a while, so not thankful about that. Not fun. But yeah, I'm thankful that you guys are willing to hang out with me and hear my ramblings about whatever it is that we're talking about. Maybe there'll be a Cash or Trash tomorrow. Really depends on if Tom puts out the video, because so far CBSI has not put out a top 10 this week. We are planning to play D&D tomorrow night. There should be a Sandman indie show this week. And beyond that, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Like I said, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And yeah. There it is. Merry Thanksgiving, everyone. I second Mr. Rayman's thoughts. And with that, we're going to get out of here. Later, everybody. Bye.